What's up, YouTube? Mitch here, and today we're going to begin the hardcore martial arts assassin. Now, she is actually pretty decent. There's a couple of ways you can run her. You can either run her playing with the physical kicks, or you can run her with elemental. I'll probably lean towards elemental, but we'll see if I end up shifting out or playing kind of both of them. We'll see. But either way, let's dive on in. Take a look. So we'll probably end up playing down this tree. Assassins overall are pretty good characters for hardcore. I'm also going to go to players 8. One of the reasons that they're good for hardcore is they have good crowd control with Mind Blast and Cloak of Shadows. These are really good crowd control abilities. They have good vitality. They have Fade if they want to get faded. Or they have Burst of Speed just to kind of get away from mobs. When I say good vitality, I mean good life. They get 3 life per vitality point. So there's really just a lot of benefit there. They also attack pretty well, and they're just like a decent character overall. Definitely have the 2 expansion characters that got added in, Lord of Destruction. I would say this character is the better of the 2. So remember, early on, we just want to pick up things that are worth money. Daggers are now worth money, so we do like that. And we can go ahead and grab a point in Dragon Talon to do a little kicking if so desired. We can also grab a point in Claw Mastery, and I'll go ahead and start with that because I'm immediately using the claws for slapping the base. Next point here, we can throw into Dragon Talon as our finisher. And this is just for some fun kicking. Though right now, just hitting with our claws is going to be better. So we'll go back and go for the Den of Evil here. I'll go ahead and drop the player count down to players 1 because the Den of Evil is just not that exciting for it. 4% fire reds. We will keep that through the end of the game. Started out and we're already finding gear for the end game. That's how strong that is. Need bigger boots to stomp harder.
Perfect.
Weapon damage on boots is for kicks. Yeah. That's if you want to play into the physical realm of it, right? If you're playing for the physical kick damage, then rocking some good kick boots is valuable. If you're playing for the elemental damage, not as big a deal, right? So our main goal right now is just level up a little bit, get Fist of Fire going, which is really strong. And then continue forward from there. Go to the tower. Get a stealth rune word. Ooh, we could also look at the new claw rune words. I forgot that they added... Is Pattern the new one? Is that what it's called? All right, let me change the name really fast. Assassin? Detail is underrated. Is it? I mean, it's still pretty good. You do need 3-socket claws, which is the unfortunate part. Now I will go ahead and stack some vitality right now. But always good to just take a look at the different claws and see what there is. You know, we probably shouldn't even do this as martial arts because newest martial arts assassin's gonna come out at some point. At least a Mosaic fixed one.
The rogue's test is done.
It's like, what if they end up changing the actual character? I mean, at least Mosaic is being reworked, but the stuff that I've requested has been like changes to the martial arts assassin. I actually have no clue what they're doing. I mean, okay, I have some clue of what they're doing. I don't have all of the knowledge of what they're doing. I have some clue of some various things that they were looking at. But do I look like someone who would know everything going on with the game? They do. Well, that's not great. Okay. We'll continue with just vitality right now. I mean, again, our main goal is just getting to level 6. Fist of Fire is going to do a lot for this character, actually. I mean, that was my proposal to them. I gave them a proposal that changed up the entirety of how Mosaic functioned. How the assassin martial arts functioned. These extra fast minions on players 8 right now are not my favorite. I really just want to go find a waypoint. Yeah, and I also think they're doing something similar to what I requested because it's taken a long time for the updates, right? You kind of feel like the updates would have happened by now if it was not adjusting more. Fulminating potions are also not bad for the very early pieces. Come on, waypoint. Any waypointers? Oh, well, yeah, you already know what my changes are that I request. Oof. Alright, there is an experience shrine. All we need to do is go kill all the Rakanishi mobs and we'll have level 6. I still think that's a good idea, Warren. Throw some fulminating gas potions in there. They're little bombs. say we just need a couple more vitality. Couple of kills here. To get that level 6. So close. One more. All right, there we go. I also need another claw. Beautiful. Oh yeah, so juicy. All right, so let's go back to town. We'll head up here. Snag a second claw. What? Oh my god. Why not on the sorceress speed run? Let me do this really fast. Put all this in my shared so I can use these stash tabs. And have it be still SSF. Perfect. Cleared out tabs. Okay. All right, now we can use the tabs again. Okay, and we've got our duel, and we're good to go. So, one thing that we can always do is we can always reset Rakinishu multiple times. And we also at level 6 want Burst of Speed. Oh, I put 2 points in Claw Mastery. Okay. I'm just going to go use my respec right now. You don't need to. I only want 1 point there. So this should be our setup. And we could use Dragon Claw as well. If we want. For the explosion there too. So maybe. We'll consider it. But at the very least, this is how we want to go right now. We want to get Burst of Speed going. And with your 2 claws, when you do the hit, you'll get the double charge up. Another point in burst of speed. And so you kind of play this back and forth, build the charge, spend the charge, right? Continue with more points here. And we can continue underground. We'll also put our points in vitality because I respect and I need to remember to put points in vitality. Another point there, one more here, and we'll go one more to burst of speed. And the 3 points in burst of speed is going to be decent enough. It's just very, very helpful to have the speed. Not only does burst of speed increase your fast run walk, it also increases your attack speed. And that is on both building the charges and spending the charges. So that is something that you do really want to focus on having high enough. And even more points there would not be bad. If you want to, invest more points into it, you can. When we get probably like visual points, we might look at investing them there as well. So we can kind of debate that. Now, like I said, with martial arts, there's a lot of ways to build the character, and so ways that you kind of have to think about. One is just going hardcore into like Tiger Strike, Dragon Talon, and really playing for the physical version of the build. We're still on Players 8. 2 is going into Fist of Fire and then kind of sticking in the elemental world, which is also not a bad idea. I feel like elemental is really good early on. And then later on, if you're running multiple elements, now you're able to, or like Phoenix Strike and stuff, now you're able to do damage of all kinds, which means single immunities aren't just like bricking you up anymore, right?
I can't carry anymore.
You're not getting locked out because, oh, well, there's fire, immune, and I only deal fire damage. So you're able to kind of add more stuff in. So we will go ahead and look for the tower here. I'm also going to look for 2-socket armors. Found a 2-socket armor. Perfect. Found the waypoint. Perfect. Let's keep going. Another point in Fist of Fire. And something you'll also kind of see me do is just chipping away here and there whenever I'm running by a mob. And the main reason is your charges expire. So if you can just like hit and snag another charge, then you can reset that expiration timer, which can be helpful. They're going to announce Act 6 at BlizzCon. What? Mr. Stallman talks about all the time. I don't talk about anything like that. I will tell you guys this, though. I know we've had our differences. I know you've said things. I've said things. I've lied. You've lied. Right? We've forgiven each other about everything. But I have absolutely no clue what is coming at BlizzCon, if anything. I assume something is happening at BlizzCon because they said everybody's going to be so excited for BlizzCon, like they're going to lose their minds. And if something does happen at BlizzCon, half me thinks they'll even say it. They'll say, we didn't even tell Mr. Llama about this. And I'll laugh in your guys' faces when they do. And say, see? I wasn't lying. Okay. Let's go down to players 1 to kill the Countess. Because on P1 is where she drops more of her items. We'll also go up to 25 strength, and I'm just going to keep with vitality. I feel like our chance to hit's actually doing just fine. 3 to dexterity, sure, I'll keep that for now. And Countess can be highly fire res, and that's okay. We still murder her. We go back up to players 8. And we'll keep cooking. You got burned by a dev last time? Yeah, I know. Last time they were like, Mr. Llama knew all along. As I was sitting there trying to pretend I didn't. They really called me out. But this time, I really don't know. Yeah, the last time I pretended that I didn't know at all, and then I knew all along, and I know that seems eerily similar to what's happening right now. I know, it's kind of hysterical, Warren. That it just doesn't matter because it auto hits anyways. Must be hot in Texas? Dude, it's so hot here right now. Any chance I make a non-SSF leveling playthrough? Like gifting myself uniques and things? Oops, I forgot to go down to players 1. I mean, I feel like...
Not in town.
I feel like you can kind of do... Man, I'm still kind of sick. You can kind of do that based off of everything, you know? If that makes sense, like, the SSF run is only going to be harder than the non-SSF. So you can kind of follow this guide, but then replace some of the gear pieces with just some better gear pieces. And I talk a lot about, you know, stuff that I would love. Right? I say, oh man, I would love right now to have a spirit shroud or a wisdom or a, you know, obviously not right now. Right now, I would just be happy with like Hisaris boots and belt, Death's boots and Death's gloves, Saigon's helm and Saigon's gloves. So, you know, this is kind of the harder version of anything that you're going to do with non-SSF. So you can really just focus when you're looking at non-SSF, you can just focus on some of the pieces I talk about, which a lot of times are, you know, simple basic things. Another point there, more Fist of Fire, more Vitality. $10K build runs for Warlock. What? I designed Act 6. Like Okay, go down to players 1 before we get this kill. And remember, we're just looking for Talon F.
Good day.
And baby, we have Talon F. So we can take those and put them in our 2-socket armor. If you need a 2-socket armor, you can always come up to Charcy and just shop for a 2-socket armor. There's a 2-socket helm. Just make sure it's gray and not blue. I'm a deceiver. Whoa, now. I'm a believer, maybe. If I could design Act 6, what would it be? I don't feel like I'm allowed to answer that question. Not because I know what it is, but because anything I say, chat's going to run with and make stuff up. And there's no winning with that. No winning at all. When will LUM RPG launch? I mean, we're working really hard on it right now. We're trying to get it out. Had a lot of good progress the last couple months. Last month. More things designed, more things added. So, right now it's putting it all together. Screw that. What? I haven't been slacking on LUM RPG. I redesigned all the professions. I got cooking all done. Just about. Alchemy's fully completed. Well, that's...
Try and cage me, demons.
I've been focusing hard in the last 2 weeks. Well, we're going hard on it now. Wow. Wow, Warren. 11 fire res. Sure, 60 attack rating. And I will happily accept 11 fire res. We'll drop that dex. I like it. I think the biggest thing that needs to happen, attack rating calculation needs to be a little bit more favorable towards when your level isn't there. That shouldn't be such a factor. And I think they need to increase the base damage of the weapons a little bit. Otherwise, I think it's really fun. I like the slower pace and the challenge. Should have turned LUM RPG into a card game. Ah, well, there is a card game that's going to be within LUM RPG. The base of it's designed. It's going to have plenty of work, but... True, also weapon durability could degrade slower. The crazy thing is I don't even remember how the card game really functions. I just woke up in the middle of the night one night and I wrote it all down. And we have it written down somewhere, so. In the Discord. Card game with the rares that support your character. I mean, there are like rare items in the card from the cards, yeah, but it's independent of your character. You don't have to like play it or anything. All right, we got that level 17 now. Pretty smooth so far, right? Like, this character just kind of grooves. It's really nice. Grab a waypoint. There's anything else to look nice. Oh, nice. Jabborn. I think my 2 goals for Lumber RPG are going to be get all of the professions implemented, like all the pieces for them, and then finish working on all the land. Finish the rest of the, because I added that new tile set. So now I can build with that, and I just want to finish building the worlds. And then I think we just bring it all together. Perfect, thanks for it. Alright, we'll go down to actually players 3 for Andariel because it's fire damage and she has terrible fire res. I could actually, even if I wanted, stay on players 8. It would still crush her, but we'll do players 3. Why not? So you're gonna melt Andariel though with this fire damage. And let's see, anything cool to pick up. Dual rare wrist blades. It's kind of fun. And a couple chips. And just like that, without even realizing it, you just beat Act 1. How easy was that? A little bit of magic find. 33. Doesn't super matter to get these going, but you know, why not? Yeah, because they are expensive with stats. Ah, it's actually a really nice belt. Try res, hit recovery, and it has repair on it. Put our gems away. Life and dex. Otherwise, you can always shop a belt right here. You can always look for some boots and gloves right here. Like I say, these don't super matter, but we'll go ahead and build for them just for the fun of building for them. Go back to players 8. And now we have the addition, if desired, to bring in Claws of Thunder. So a lot of times what you end up doing, if you want, is you could just multi-charge build and just play for kind of this combo style of multi-charging. The thing is, you don't have to. The fire is strong enough. It will be good enough for a lot of everything we're doing here. Let me go here. Let me grab this. Magic damage reduced by 1. More attack rating. Why not? Just for our chance to hit. And we'll go ahead and pick up some more potions. So, kind of up to you and what you want to do or not do. But I like just sticking with Fist of Fire, at least through all of the normal run. It just does so well. It has really good damage, and then it has a great burst on it with the fire that sits. That fire actually does a lot of damage. Now I will continue to collect runes and chip gems, and the chip gems we can use for money later on. Also, one thing you may note is that we are spending a lot of, we're having to use a lot of mana potions with this. So one thing that you can actually do is just drop some tier runes in your helm. Hold on, let me look really fast at... We'll look at rune words, and we'll look at rune words that can go in claws. We have Malice, we have Strength, Melody, Venom, Chaos... No, okay, hold up. Where's all the rune words? Here's Pattern. Tal Ort Thol. It's pretty bad, but it does have 15 all res on it. And faster block rate. So 2 patterns with weapon block could actually be kind of nice. Ooh, Mania. It's the old hustle. Yeah. Not a lot. We probably won't have much going with those. Just fun to look at. But we do have 1, 2, 3. Our 2 rare claws now, which again don't really matter. But when you can get dual rare claws, sometimes you just gotta do it, you know? Now, one thing about this character is on hardcore, it can be a little bit scary sometimes. So, a lot of times, you just have to watch your life total a little bit and make sure that you're not just always standing in, because you are standing close to a lot of mobs, so they will be hitting you and doing some damage. So that's just something to always watch out for, is you will take a little extra damage here. Now, of course, weapon block is also something that we can get. And honestly, we probably should just get. Might as well just get it now. So on our next level, we'll go ahead and pick it up. Now, the main thing is weapon block is one of the best skills in the game. And the reason is you can block anything with it. You can block hammers from a Hammerden. You can block a physical hit from Diablo, right? Like anything can be blocked by weapon block. It is extremely solid. So, instantly picking up 1 point in it, we have a 26% chance to block. That means we're instantly taking 3/4 the damage that we're taking before. Right. It doesn't apply to charges from snakes and reanimated hordes, return damage, corpse explosion, and radial aura damage. Okay, those are the only things it does not block. Everything else gets blocked. So we'll go ahead and pick up a point there. And that's all you need is 1 point. We'll get more plus to skills later. And that'll help boost it up further. But we'll just take that single point. Now, the only downside for it is you do have to use 2 claws. So if you are using a shield, you're not going to have the weapon block benefit anymore. So that is one thing you have to kind of decide. And we'll have to look at later, right? Maybe later on we'll say, we just want to run a rhyme shield and get the cannot be frozen instead from that. And so then it's going to be slower to build up charges, but we're going to have, have some of that. It only works if you're stationary. Yes, but like when you're sitting and fighting is, that's when you really need it a lot. Is when you're sitting there and actually fighting stuff, so. Do I use force move at all? Not really. If I could set it to my actual, left side there as a button, kind of, then I would.
Never a good omen.
And there's a good example of why being frozen's awful. So we're really going to want to find some way to have cannot be frozen later on. Otherwise, we're going to be in a lot of trouble, right? Even more so than when we did that throw barb, because the throw barb at least had a little help and could stay at range. Here you're getting right up in it. So there you go, one of the few things it doesn't block right there. Snake charges. Now, normal claws do not get plus skills on them. So early claws are kind of pointless because of that. Also, always be careful with Fang Skin. He could be a little bit nasty.
I can't carry anymore. I expected worse.
Good day. Greetings.
That's just something that they decided. Lots of chip gems.
Greetings.
We'll go ahead and keep one rejuve here just to have.
Good day.
Repair our gear. And let's go find the cube. There we go. We're also level 20 and a half already. So one of the really nice things about this character is you'll level up very fast without even realizing it. Just because it's super easy to just kill large masses, no problem whatsoever. We'll also have even more fun with this when we get out into like the flare jungle and stuff, but you can run around anywhere with it. And we'll grab that, pick up some rejuves, always a good idea, and continue.
Your presence honors me.
And we're very close in the polls. Alright, we'll go to the Fire Oasis. We'll go find that hole. Continue with more vitality. And honestly, I don't even mind doing player's aid into the hole. Maggot lair.
Deadliest boss, Mephisto, dead sub-boss, Nyla, dead mob, Tomb Vipers, pre-patch 2.3, Gloams now, dead Unqui monster modifier, extra strong.
Old school Tomb Vipers, yeah. Unique monster modifier, extra strong. Maybe curse. Wait, where's the maggot lair? I feel like I'd rather play against extra strong than against cursed. Okay, not up here. Dude, I don't know where this maggot lair is.
There's nothing the right portion can't
More
do.
points in Fist of Fire. I kind of feel like I discovered everything, right? Where's the maggot lair? Are they announcing Act 6 in the new Inferno difficulty? Guys. Oh my god, stop. Wow, I really thought it would be up in this little nook. Wow. Annoying. We all have trouble finding it sometimes. Okay. You... I'll actually go ahead and start running rejuves. It's a little early, but this character does take a lot of damage being right in the way of everything. You know, I'll take half restoration. What they told me about Diablo 5? I don't know anything about Diablo 5. Or if it's even a thing. Level 22. Man, we are cooking with experience. More vitality. Does this look like the face of someone who knows something about Act 5? I mean, Diablo 5 or Act 6, either one. Do I have any TA for my RPG? We're gonna push hard on it and try and get it out soon here. But I don't have an exact ETA now. First time making a game, so, you know, there's a lot of holdups.
Good day.
13 MF. Go like that, repair that. Cube that.
Hello.
Yeah, exclamation mark RPG Discord, all one word, will take you to the Lum RPG Discord, where you can watch the commits happening as they go along. You can get a sense of what's being worked on. Maybe we gotta go in here. Sounds like something Scott Carney would say. You leave Scott out of this. Any good unique weapons for this build? Not immediately. I guess later on you could want like Artux or Jade Talons or something. Which you do find, honestly, Like, I find those every, like, 50th speedrun or something, so. It does happen. It's all good. First way, hey. Let's go.
Orzon, your decoy is dead.
Okay. And once we get out here, it goes circle is far left, then moon, then square, then sun above you, then double down arrow, then triangle, then circle over moon. That is your left to right. And I mean, I'm still just cruising on players 8. Like, this character cruises, man. If you're able to kill this quickly, then on P8, a lot of times you should just kind of stick there and just go to town on everybody, right? Might as well keep gaining the experience. So you can run around in the tombs and pick up a bunch of quick experience here. You can move forward and get the experience in the Flare Jungle. But it's always a decent idea when your character's cooking. Just let them keep cooking a little bit, you know? Especially on hardcore where every level is another skill point. There's more damage. There's more survivability with more stats. Better chances to hit, etc. So I don't even mind on this character taking a while, like through this tomb, if we, you know, 8th way it or whatever, and it just takes forever to get to the end. Because we have beetles in here, they're good experience, we're doing good damage, we're getting EXP. What more do I really want? We'll fight the bosses. Remember, every boss and their minions give 500% experience in addition to being a higher level than the area. So even though skellies aren't like the greatest experience overall, 500% experience. Pretty good amount. We'll shove the staff in the orifice. Clean these guys up here. We'll sell out of some of the stuff that we have here. Ooh, hello, dual 27 res with some damage reduction. Yeah, I'll take that. 9 to life, sure. Now, before we go and fight Mr. Duriel, what's something that we can do? We can get some thawing potions. Every one you drink is 30 seconds of an additional 50% cold res, which is just helpful. We can also, if we want, go get a mercenary. Can grab him a weapon.
I'll put that to good use.
Get our burst of speed going again. Give thawing potions to our mercenary. Build up charges on Duriel, and that fire damage is just going to absolutely melt him. Simple as that. Give yourselves the clap. Act 2 is done. He never stood a
I shall
chance.
track the prime evils to the end.
Go talk to Jurhin. Take a little shortcut through the harem. We've all taken that shortcut before.
Greetings.
Yes.
Okay. And we're in Act 3. We can go back to Player's 8 if we want. Because again, we've just kind of been cooking. And our damage is just really good. D4 has a pretty good-sized player base. There are a lot of casual players in the world. Was the guided playthrough inspired by AI being terrible at it? No, we've done guided playthroughs for years. It was inspired by everybody coming into my channel and saying, how do I play through the game on this class? How do I do it on this class? That's a better way to say it, one. Have you done a ladder reset assassin? Yeah, I did the level 99 mosaic assassin when she first was changed. Okay, we could also get blades of ice going if we wanted. But I'm pretty happy right now just continuing fire. Fire just kind of melts everything in normal and early nightmare, so no reason to push it. Also, do be careful with fetish shamans. Their fire damage is actually pretty good. So easy way to get popped. Having a little bit of fire res, whether that's through Rao runes in your helmet or just rings or whatever, is always beneficial. Okay, it doesn't seem like we have a skip. So I think we'll probably have to go through the Great Marsh. Also, Sark the Burning can always be a little scary. Let's try and put some fire for him to enjoy. Nice and easy. And I'm actually gonna put on my basic filter that just removes basic garbage. It would be pretty crazy for this to actually cut right and like continue right. And pretty crazy it is. Let's go, baby. We did get a skip. Man, a lot of times you would see that connect through right there when it does like that. Alright. Well, we'll enjoy our flare jungle. So flare jungle, again, another really great spot to level up. So you can just get
I can't carry anymore.
all these guys here. Let's put the breastplate on, our mercenary, why not? Just give him a little something something. Grab a waypoint for safety. Yeah, I think my favorite thing with Elon's maps and, you know, him pretending to actually be a D4 and PoE 2 player was that he thought he had such hubris. He thought he could actually log on and do a live stream on the character and people would somehow not see that he has absolutely no clue what he's doing. You know you're next level delusional when that's where you're at.
Can't carry anymore.
They'll never know. He's like, what does this skill do?
I can't carry anymore.
Okay, keep going Fist of Fire. I should have shopped a telestaff earlier. I cooked myself. I went too far. Such a nothing friggin'. I mean, Icy Pains has Mosaic Assassin on it. Now, if you're waiting for the updated Mosaic and stuff, I don't know whenever they give us that. Okay, trash, trash, trash. 7 MF with 4 mana. Bonus attack rating on that as well.
Yes.
And kind of garbage. Unfortunate. that away. That can go there. We'll just get the telestaff later. I think we've got like a queue of like 5 days ahead of this. So this will probably be up in 6 days on the YouTube. I'm gonna try to get back into uploading content again. One of the AoE 2 streams be on the VOD channel. The VOD channel, I'm just keeping Diablo. Though half of me has considered just making a Mr. Llama AoE VOD channel and then running that as another one. Because we actually have a lot of... Between that and StarCraft, we could have just like a RTS. Mr. Llama RTS VOD. Oh yeah, Tig. That hussy. Getting a teleport staff. Definitely something we want to consider now-ish. I might just go do it after we grab this waypoint. I guess we can run around the flare jungle and, or flare dungeon and then do it. Also, the mercenary is not crazy important right now on this character, but, you know, why not? He's cheap, so not a big deal. Level up again, more Fist of Fire. Let's go find a waypoint. But AoE Elo is considered professional, probably like 2,500 plus. 2,600 plus, somewhere around there, I'd imagine. How's weapon throw barb? Great. That's just kind of a grail there, truculent, yeah. I think I could get up to about 1,700 or so, 1,800 if I, you know, commit more into it. After that, we'd have to work more, gain some more knowledge, you know, keep pushing all that stuff, but. Which do I enjoy playing more? What, D2 or AoE? I mean, ultimately, my love is for D2. I think I'll try the Grim Dawn. These hardcore playthroughs have been fun. A lot of people have asked for them for a long time. If they remove Cav Archer from the game or just like nerf its speed or something, I would consider AoE having a chance. Your team games in AoE? This can be a fun time. Immune to fire. We'll leave it alone. A little bit, yeah, Thunder. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go shopping. Okay. So let's go shopping for a tele staff. Now, if you do this sub level 24, which is what you should do if you're smart, unlike me, who is not smart. Then you can go do this and just look for the red staffs. Otherwise, you can look for blue staffs that have teleport charges. Now, unfortunately here, this one costs 338,000 gold. I do not have 338,000 gold. So, we'll just have to reset. Oops. And try and find one that doesn't have a bunch of plus skills. We'll also do this, this, and this. But if you messed up like me, then you can just look through them like that. And it's a little bit more looking. And like I say, you're looking for teleport charges, not teleport itself. The cheapest they'll be is about 16,000, but they'll run up to the many hundreds of thousands. Now, something else that you can do is you can actually go buy cheap staves if you find any. None of those are cheap.
Good day.
Like that. Or that. And here's where all those chip gems we were saving can come into play. You can actually just go here. Oops. We've actually got so many chip gems, it's crazy. And you can transmute 3 chip gems and a staff. And you can try and roll for teleport charges, or for something that's just going to be worth money, right? Because then you can use that money to sell later on. But sometimes you won't even need the money. You'll just get the teleport charges right there. And you're good to go. But I still have plenty of chip gems that I can use for money later if I want as well. For re-rolling those staves or wands or scepters or daggers. Anything that can roll plus a skills pretty much is something you'll be interested in. Yeah, so we got a clean tele staff, which is really nice there. And we'll just run around and try and find... It's unfortunate. Okay, so seems most likely to be on the down route. We'll deal with that later. Hardcore survival tactics are also great for newer players. Might not consider mentioning on the regular. Possibly, yeah. What I always say is go at whatever pace you feel comfortable as well. 6 to life is a little too small for a large charm. I don't want to waste the space just for that. But you know, if you don't feel comfortable fighting cold enchanted gloombats, don't fight them, right? Like, because they can be a little scary. I lost half my life, you know, fighting those guys. So I think that's an important thing. Now, something I will also say that is important here. Make sure you're constantly re-upping your burst of speed. There's nothing worse. And we're on players 8 here, and that's going to be fine. There's nothing worse than being in the middle of a fight and your burst of speed wearing out. I'm going to lose my mercenary here. That's okay. I don't really care about him that much. And I'm on P8 here. You could be on P1 here. You could be on P8 here. Up to you. I'll grab the flail. We'll grab this war scepter. Put these back on. And just keep going. And for Mephisto, we'll just push forward here. You can get the waypoint if you want. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to go down to players 1 before I fight Mephisto. I could fight him on a higher player count. And this is also where you could get some thawing potions if you want. And having some good light res can be helpful. I've got pretty good light res. My cold res is pretty atrocious though. But I feel strong enough that I can fight him.
Mephisto. You were no match for me.
And just like that, Act 3 is complete.
Greetings.
Nice and easy. I know I went through a TP instead of going through to Act 4. Silly.
What do you need?
It's better for our mercenary if we wanted. I don't super care.
Not in town.
We'll go ahead and repair. Remember, teleport charges do get expensive, so you can't just tele all the time. I mean, if you have all the gold, you can. But you just need to build up a lot of gold then. Now, in Act 4, I like to stick on players 1, because 1, there's a lot of fire, not immunes, just like fire-resistant mobs. Number 2, I'm also going to look for Isual here. Now, souls are not too nasty in normal. That Holy Freeze is pretty nasty, though. Wow, I'm completely locked in. You can't be cold and have Holy Freeze. You gotta kind of have one or the other. Okay, there we go. We knocked that out. Now we can go fight Ishul. build up those charges. Nice and simple. Now I can look for the exit, and we'll just go grab those skill points in a second. Yeah, Mosaic was just too powerful. Every top character was just a Mosaic assassin. And it just did everything, and it did it way too well. Grab our 2 skill points. We'll max out there. And I'm actually going to put another point in burst of speed. I like to get up to like 5 points in burst of speed, I feel like, is a solid amount. If you want, you can also use the Icy Veins D2IS IAS calculator, which can let you know what IAS will get you to which breakpoints and how much from the different burst of speed amounts and all of that. The trade-off was all the flashbang gave you headaches. It's true. It was so brutal to play. Now again, I'm going to teleport in here because I feel totally safe teleporting in here. If you do not, don't. Like, walk your character up and through, you know? Nothing wrong with it. It's a little dicey in here, you know? Something I've talked about before, and I'll talk about as well in this character, is even though she's very strong, it's still good to build yourself a safe space in a place like the Chaos Sanctuary. And that just means having a spot that you can come back to whenever it gets too spicy. You can always back up and know that there's not monsters behind you, right? I know I can always go this way. If you turn around and try to go that way and then there's mobs that way and now you're in this weird, awful scenario where you're trying to survive but you can't, it can get really bad really fast. So just having a little bit of a safe space there goes a long way. Now, one thing to be careful here, this is going to be a dangerous boss in that the fire damage is a lot. I only have 24 fire res, so I have to be kind of careful that I don't get surrounded. One thing I can always do is teleport out. I can always have my hand right on the rejuve ready. And we can just go make sure. Oops. Get a few more potions in there. So, you know, the best solution is really Ral Runes in your helm. That's going to be your best solution. But if you can't get that, always. I wish claws were more interesting to go actually pick up. Like early on. Later on they are. Just normal, they're not at all. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. What do we do when there's a lot of stuff? Back up a little. Pace out our fighting. the dude sit in the fire. Then we can go back in. Always be careful of a high spawn. And I'm going to go ahead and just jump down here for an easier spawn. Perfect. We'll head up here, pop this open. Jump across because it's a little dangerous up there. And here is a case as well where we either would need to use some of the other variants of the claws, such as just kicking with lightning. Or you can just go get your mercenary. And this is one of the reasons for the mercenary in the early game here. It's just to help out with a little bit of that. We'll also grab some thawing potions for Diablo fight. There you go. You know what? We'll use it. Why not? Make sure you're on players 1. A little bit of cold res there is nice. Now something we really want to be careful with is the lightning breath. We want to make sure that does not hit us, and if he ever freezes us like that, that we are unfrozen so we don't get caught frozen and then stuck in lightning breath. Also make sure that we keep our burst of speed up. And voila! Easy as that. Why not? Act 4 is completed. 1 to martial arts. Hey, we actually started getting somewhere. Required dex and strength, 37. Slightly slower, but that's okay. Nothing really else on the boots or anything. Put those there. Don't really care about. Get it, Ty. I mean, Bind Demon can be great in any build, but if you're running like so juicy. If you're running whatever you call it, then magic, you'll want a lot of the points over in magic, and then a lot of times you're just consuming a defiler for extra damage there. But like I say, any build, if you want, you could, you know, dump 10 points, whatever, into the Bind Demon there, get a nice demon. Got you. Okay, so let's talk about our update here. So I've added now another finisher, and this finisher is actually a little bit better for a couple of reasons. So we'll burn out these charges. This finisher is going to have a double finish on it. So we can take a look right here. When we get up here. Right, so I have 3. I'll do 1 click. Click. And now you can see I have 1 orb. Right? As opposed to 1 kick here. I kick once, I only get 1 of them. So you actually build up additional charges or additional kicks as you put more points into Dragon Talon. So you can get it to be, you know, 3 clicks, right, kicks right there, and it'll burn through all the charges at once. But for right now, especially because we're focused on the elemental piece, if we were doing more physical kicking, then we would definitely have way more into Dragon Talon, and we'd be aiming for, you know, kicking a bunch. Not at all, Grams. It's still really good. Yeah. So that's nice. Dragon Tail is also really nice because you get an explosive kick. So that has its own damage. So Dragon Tail may be something that we look at. But this does have a dual hit, so we get 2 of the charges at once, and that's pretty powerful to have. Otherwise, you know, we will want to get into eventually like Phoenix Strike and stuff just to get some of the added damage, and we'll work all through with all that. What was that? Well, we are in Act 5 now. We put a point into Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw gives you 2 hits. You get 2 hits per 2 finishers instead
of just the 1. A blessing to you and your family too, Llama. Thank you for being a positive influence, and chat too, for being supportive. Yeah, I love the community here.
Thanks earnestly. So Dragon Talon right now gives 1 kick, so we're only kicking out 1 charge. If you put more points into this, you can get more kicks, of course. So you can get 2 kicks or 3 kicks or 4 kicks or 5 kicks. And that will kick through all of your charges. But Dragon Claw is just a nice, easy 1 hit, 1 point, and I'm doing 2. I'm going bang, bang, and 2 of the charges will pop off. So just a nice little boost. Dragon Tail is also nice because it has an explosion on it, which actually can have some decent damage. So we'll look at that. Yeah. But the being able to have 2 claws and these elementals, you get 2 buildups per swing, and then Dragon Claw is 2 releases per swing. So let's go ahead and look to save the barbs. And we did talk about it a little bit before, but I think it's worth mentioning again. This character is a close range character. And one thing that you should be noting as you're watching me play here is that I am taking some damage, right? So you're gonna have to be careful with this character, because it is very easy to kind of get caught in situations like that and then be in a lot of trouble. Of course, we selected hardcore this time. We always select hardcore. Now, something that also is annoying is building the charges takes the attack rating, and it's starting to get a little bit annoying to try and like build it. You can see we only have an 80% chance. Your finishers are always hitting, but the build-up is not. So having some attack rating later on is beneficial there, and this is also where having Chalen with like Blessed Aim can be helpful. But right now my main focus is going to be getting to a waypoint so we can go back and do a little bit of farming. We're not going to go for dual mosaic in this playthrough. Yeah, it would be nice if they... That would be an improvement. I think that was in my request for improvements. Make the buildup of charges independent of you successfully hitting or not. So you don't just get the free hit, but you'll still build a charge as long as you try an attack. I believe that's in my request, so, you know, hopefully. Exactly, a participation trophy. Because it is just a little difficult if you're trying to build charges and missing building charges. It's just pretty tough. Yeah, they just we won't have mosaics here. First off, finding dual mosaic in a playthrough is a pretty insane ask, but beyond that. We are 27, which is good enough to get experience. You need to be at least level 25 in Act 5 to get experience in Act 5. If you are not, go back and farm earlier. Go to Act 3, Flare Jungle, Battle Maid Serena, and such. But I want more. I do want more with my levels. I am not a high enough level right now. So we will be getting more. I'm just taking a short detour to pick up some extra experience here. And something else to remember, and we'll note this again when we get to Bale, is that the person you charge up on does not have to be the person that you finish on, or the enemy, right? So it can be hard to build charges. If you're trying to charge on Bale, it might be tough, but if there's some tentacles nearby, charge up on the tentacles, finish on Bale, right? That can be a nice, simple way to do it, and you can note that with anything there. All right. Yeah, the barbarian, we forgot to press it, so we just played a deathless one, which we didn't die. So it didn't matter. It was all fine. Okay, so this is, as always, one of my favorite places to level up. It's pretty safe overall. Like, there's just not a lot of, like, burst damage or anything here. And And it's just like easy experience. Go build up a couple times. Blow some charges. Also a decent place that you can find, you know, just a couple items. Okay, let's go ahead and go Dragon Tail. Let's mess around with Dragon Tail really fast. And we will go for 3 more strength. And go for 1 to martial arts. Now, Dragon Tail, here, I'll show you. So I only have lightning, but you can see there's actually a like little explosion on the kick. It can be decent with some points into it, but I think the dual release is actually better overall for us. So, good to test. We'll want to get a point in Dragonflight probably anyways.
How may I be of help?
But yeah, I like the Dragon Claw. Having the double finisher is just so nice. Dragon Tail gets super strong once you're able to stack a decent amount of weapon damage gear. Yeah, so Dragon Tail is 70% fire damage, so it takes your total like weapon damage, and then it does 70% of that as fire. And right now, our physical damage is very low, so we're getting a very low amount of damage actually from there. But if we're able to get some, you know, elite claws and have some ED and all this stuff on them, then Dragon Tail gets a lot more damage. Back at it with that sci-fi movie marathon. You know me and my sci-fis. But nice and easy farm, and because this is, it's a little different. That's a decent piece. Because this is a character that does have a chance to hit. Oh, it's got 185 attack rating. I was like, how am I getting so much attack rating here? We'll go more vitality. And we'll put a point into Blades of Ice now, because we will be working up towards Phoenix Strike here. And we may even respec as we get up towards Phoenix Strike. But because it's a character that has a chance to hit, levels mean more, right? If you're on a Sorceress, if you're on a Trapsin, if you're on, you know, a character that doesn't need a chance to hit, the levels are nice, but they don't mean as much. We'll take 19 cold res. Also a little bit more attack rating and stuff, sure. But whenever your character needs to hit, you have to remember it is attack rating versus monster's defense rating, and your level versus the monster's level. So if you are level 28 and the monster is level 50, even with good attack rating, you're just going to have a rough chance to hit from that.
Not here.
I don't even know if that's worth anything. Kind of slows us down a little bit. What's the optimal player count for Hell Countess? 1. You always want to kill Countess on players 1, unless you are key farming. Alright. We'll put attack rating in the main hand so our chance to hit is better. All the dual wield sequence skills are bugged and use the main hand's chance to hit for both attacks. Fun tip. Sounds nice.
Good afternoon.
2 to min damage. I mean, 18 light res is nice, but I kind of like the AR and bonus AR. This is one of those things that you can save, and then like, oh, you run into an area with souls? Okay, well, we have this available. Only if your first hit misses does it swap to using the second hand's chance to hit. Nice. That is some interesting sequencing to know.
Hello.
That's nice. At the very least, we'll go to our mercenary, but I think we'll take that. Light res and fire res are a little more important than cold res. And we're actually 31, so we have Phoenix Strike coming on board here soon. Kind of whenever we want. And we'll probably end up doing a respec when we shift over to Phoenix Strike, but for now... I'm just going to continue with the fire. So increasing Dragon Claw increases the attack rating of Dragon Claw, but if you have charges, it always hits. So it's only really increasing if you didn't have charges. I guess it also gives a tiny bit of physical damage added, but I don't care about that either. So really, it's a one-point wonder. That is true. Fist of Fire converts physical damage to fire. So increasing my physical damage will give me more fire damage on Fist of Fire. Oh my god, I want Treachery so badly here. Yeah, this is kind of why they need to fix up the assassin, because she's a little all over the place in her, like, how she functions. So putting points into Claw Mastery or Phoenix Strike. I mean, I'm just gonna continue to put points into the elementals, and really, you know, I'm gonna be jumping into Phoenix Strike eventually here. But for right now, I don't really need to.
Hello.
I'm happy to just kind of... It's amazing how far normal Bale plus minions plus experience shrine can take you. Yeah, you can do a lot there.
Good afternoon.
But right now, we're just picking up levels and picking up experience. And I mean, it's just been, you know, a few minutes of doing this. But I've talked about this before. It's something I like to do before Ancients. Because when you do this before Ancients, then you get the nice benefit of a harder level.
Hello.
Now, that being said, she'll be totally fine in Nightmare and be able to pick up those levels, no problem. So it's not that big of a deal. But you can level here easily to, like, I left a rare Q-Ham on the ground. Okay. You can level here easily to like 40 if you want. And we'll go ahead and put points into Phoenix Strike because that does increase the Fist of Fire. So even at the very least, it's increasing our damage. Now, one thing with Phoenix Strike is you only build one charge at a time. Gruber, thank you! Even with the dual claw. So you can see that, like, Phoenix Strike is okay, but our Fist of Fire is still stronger right now. Because we only have, like, a couple points there, and we don't have points in the synergies. So, Phoenix Strike, if we look at the synergies, 10% fire damage for level, 6% average fire, 13% lightning damage, 10% cold, right? It's all from these skills over here. So a lot of times you're going to be putting points into, really, Claws of Thunder is a big one, to get more of the damage from all of that. But we'll level a tiny bit more. Yeah, it's like a Vengeance Assassin, exactly. We'll go more Vitality. But Fire really can carry us through until about Nightmare Act 4, and then that's where we'll want to possibly respec and look at some other damages. We can also look at some survivability if we want to get Cloak of Shadows at that point or something. Yeah, I'm not immediately rushing for Phoenix Strike. with the exception of just to get added damage to my fire right now. That is my main focus. Okay, we're level 34. That feels good enough to me. Let's continue forward. More vitality. Oh my god, the chance to hit. They're moving, I can't build up anything on them. Whatever. Too annoying. Did you see my notes, Warren, about profession leveling? We'll pick up this waypoint. Okay, good. Does it all make sense? You'll just use that same experience leveling chart we have, and it'll just be the same for each one. Or a different one, but the same, you know, numbers. Alright, area at Summit, we'll go down to players 1. Now, Talik does have his Whirlwind, so you may feel a little worried there. But you should be pretty okay. If he's hitting you with a lot of damage, then you can, you know, do something to make it a little bit easier. Feel free to build up multiple charges on things. But should be a pretty easy takedown of the Ancients, especially at the level that we're at. But if you again, if you feel a little bit scared, if you're like, no, I need a little bit more safety and stuff, like, you can build your mercenary up more. You can go do what we've talked about before, which is you go hide right here, and you have Talik come at you straight this way. If he's standing right here, he will never whirlwind you. It's awful, binary. We already rescued Anya. We did that before we started leveling. That should be illegal. Taking a picture of someone when they're on a video call with you. Oh, it's probably right there. Yeah. No Hogans. Just because they can't figure out how to turn their camera around. Level 2, we can always look at picking up the waypoint. Yeah, this is the exit. I mean, I don't feel like I super need the waypoint, but if you want to do like bale farming, grabbing the waypoint in level 2, very good. If you're worried about safety, again, normal's not as big of a deal. Like, you shouldn't be dying in normal, really, but it can happen. It is hardcore, so, you know, if you're like, you know what, I want to be a little extra safe. Am I still in peak decathlete shape? Nope. I'm not in bad shape. My pulse is still like 50. When I was, in peak decathlete shape, my pulse was probably like 42, so, we're still like, okay. My blood pressure's like 105 over 70 or something, like, we're okay. I could drop 10 pounds. Wave 1, because he has the fire immune, we'll just build up all charges and then go just be on players 1 here. So we'll use our Phoenix Strike to kill him. But if we want to go up on the other waves, we can. Wave 2 does have the cold damage, though. So we'll probably stick on players 1 here. Maybe try a higher players count for wave 3. Wave 3 will go players 3. Good, how are you? Remember, your mercenary just is gonna die a lot of the time. We could definitely have gone players 8 here if we wanted, but it's hardcore and we can play it safe. Nothing wrong with playing it safe. Let's go players 8 for wave 4. Let's see how it rolls. That's not great.
GG.
Might end up using a lot of the Phoenix Strike, because Phoenix Strike does have like a frozen orb. It's called a Chaos Orb that it unleashes. And it's actually super safe. The biggest issue is we don't have a lot of damage with it right now. But we are chipping away at the guys. Players 8, I knew it'd be a little greedy for this wave, but I wanted to give it a try. We can kind of run these in tandem a little bit. Just kind of lock him in over here. Nice and easy. So this is one of the big benefits of Phoenix Strike that you'll have in hardcore. Jesus, Warren. And why we really love Phoenix Strike is that freeze is so helpful. All right, let's go down to players one. We can build up that same thing and have that freeze there. But it's also just a difficult wave. So if you don't wish to fight this wave, you can always drag it out and then just telly in. For instance, Lister, he's annoying, he's spectral hit. Don't feel like fighting him. I'll just teleport in over here. Another point Phoenix Strike, or repair our gear. We'll go more vitality.
How may I be of help?
Get more of these, get more of those. If you want to have your mercenary, just remember you can give them thawing potions as well
Thanks.
to increase their cold resist.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
And you know what? We got some clones. There's a lot of damage. It's kind of a tight pocket. We can just go away for a second. Let Bale cool down. Let the clone disappear. Remember I talked about building up charges on not Bale and then finishing on Bale? This will be the happiest you are to see tentacles ever in your life. Go over there to build, go over there to finish. Building on Bale is just a little tough, but building on tentacles is easy. And GG, congratulations. Normal is done on your hardcore martial arts assassin. How easy was that?
Hello.
All right, we did get the Hisaris. We actually have a sweet belt though. Try res with 10 hit recovery. I think I still like Hisaris ever so slightly more, especially if I can get Hisaris boots. You can get a combination. And that is where one you could consider doing a little like normal Andy farming or something. Or we could go do some cows. Have I saved Kane? I've probably talked to Kane already in this game. We'll go back into normal. But this is also a wonderful place for... you save Kane, you go cows, and you can hunt for Death's gloves and Death's belt. Or you can hunt for Hisaris boots and Hisaris belt. But really the dual death is so nice. It gives you cannot be frozen. It gives you...
This tree escaped corruption.
all res. It gives you IAS. So 3 extremely valuable pieces. There's a gem shrine. Whenever you run into a gem shrine, the belt gives you cannot be frozen. I'm not saying Hisaris set. I'm saying the 2 death set gives you cannot be frozen because you get it two from the belt. You always go and look at what gems you have. Unfortunately, I don't have any flawless gems yet. In fact, if we want, we can go to the River of Flame. We can talk to Kane. He'll give us a new soul stone if we're missing one. No, this is the... I cleared the shared stash out, so it's got nothing in it, so then I can put my stuff in it. The shared stash is empty.
I can't carry anymore.
You think my shared stash has no flawless gems in it? Okay, so we'll do Hellforge. Yeah, we only get a Talrun, unfortunately, but we pick up a couple flawless at the very least, so we'll take one of those flawless to the Stony Field. And we'll get a perfect amethyst. These locations are the terror zones. So terror zones are a fantastic place to level up. Truly fantastic. Akinishu can also be an okay person to drop some of the pieces we want. Like Zer, thank you. And so can Griswold.
The Order welcomes you.
Can go in for cows. Now, one thing with cows is they can be a little bit scary. So, do be a little cautious. We have really good damage, but we have to get up on top of them, and being up on top of them can be nasty. So, for this specific farm, though, if you want to do this farm, you can just go after the Cow King. So you just go find wherever his little home is. Possibly up north there. And if you get a really bad map, it's just like far away or something as well. Hey, there's Jelly. Not really for us, but... Yeah, so I'm guessing it's going to be up above us. But you can always just kill cows too if you want. But here we go. There's the Cow King. So this is not a great spawn for it, so it's something I would consider. And wow, look at that. We find Cow King's armor. The first time. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so you can just like do that a few times. It's actually interesting. 30 to life, 18 all res. I may end up using that. Like, obviously I'm losing 25 faster run walk, some hit recovery and stuff, but I have bursts of speed. We can go shop some faster run walk boots. It's not bad. So, like I said, this is not the greatest map. It's pretty far to the Rakanishu. It's pretty far to the Cow King as well. So I would reset this map most likely, which means you just go to Nightmare, come back to normal. You can leave Kane in there as a reminder of what he did.
Yes.
But a lot of times you can spawn, you know, your portal really near to the Cow King as well. So this could be like twice the speed. It's just bad layouts all around. But that's how fast it is to kill Kane, right? Or not kill Kane. Silly. Kill the Cow King. And like I say, his drop chances for Death's Belt, Death's Gloves, you know, some other like of these early pieces are really good. They're like 1 in 70, 1 in 80. So you can pick those up super easily and just be in a really great spot. But we will go ahead and move forward. And this is where, as well, like I was saying, we can look to shop.
What you need?
For some faster run walk boots. Fire res right there. And while we're shopping, I'll actually put the stealth on just for a little bit faster run walk. You can also look to pick up a nice belt. 57 to life. That's a lot of life. I do drop 20 cold res for it, though. Maybe... It's hard.
Good day.
That'd be funny, Warren. 18 light res. Here's 22% magic find. So this as well goes with the idea of if you want to do like cows, right? And maybe we should do cows. Because this character is going to be in a difficult spot. Maybe we should go farm some cows and get the dual deaths and just like show it and have some fun with it. And it gets us Can't Be Frozen. I don't really care for like these other stats that much, and that's just a little bit extra res. 26 life, 27 fire res. That's just kind of better than what we have currently, unless we get Hisaris's boots. So you can put those away. Shopping is so underrated, and this is one of my favorite things in single player that you can end up doing, is just there's 30 light res. One of my favorite things that you can end up doing is just kind of like shopping. You don't do this online. When you're online, somebody comes in and drops you the gear that you need and whatever, and you're fine. But here, 27 cold res, but 11% MF. Here, shopping matters. And there's so many nice shops. 20 fast run walk, 15 light res. There you go. That's pretty much exactly what I was looking for. Some sort of Hisaris at home boot. Right? So let's pause the normal video here. Let's do a quick review and then we'll start part Nightmare. So enough strength and dex to wear some gear. Everything else vitality. We've got 1 point weapon block, 4 points burst of speed. We could add another point. We'll look at some breakpoints soon on this. And then Phoenix Strike and maxed out Fist of Fire right now. And starting to dump points here. Don't really need this point in Dragon Tail. We could get it for the 1 point Dragon Flight later. But Dragon Claw is really just going to be our finisher. So we're really just using like these 2 skills at the moment. And then getting Phoenix Strike for that. Our gear, we found a 1 to martial arts. Also some attack rating and stuff on it, which is nice. Just dual res helm. Nothing really on the amulet. Nothing really on the offhand. We did get a stealth. Cold res on these gloves. Dual res right here, which is pretty nice. Shopped this guy. Attack rating and bonus AR right here, which pretty significant. And then we just shopped these. For our charms, nothing too crazy. Just some res, life, mana. Pretty basic. We also found Cow King's leathers that we can wear if we would like a little bit more res and life. So that'll be the end of part Nightmare. Or part normal, and we'll jump into part Nightmare in a second. Don't forget to like and subscribe, YouTube. Peace.